Morning, everyone. Good morning. Happy International Women's Day, and thanks for joining me on the floor for a grounding yoga series. I do hope you can hear me. If you can't hear me at any point, just pop me a little note and I'll keep half an eye, of course. So listen to your body this morning. Don't do anything that puts you out of your comfort zone. Let's start by coming to a comfortable seated position. You can be on your sit bones, you can be on a cushion, you can be on your sofa if you like for this part of the session. If you prefer to have your legs extended out in front of you, that's absolutely fine too. I'm calling this Sukhasana, our comfortable seated position. Okay, so we're just going to start by gaining a little awareness of the breath. We're going to breathe into 3 areas of the body. We're going to start on the upper abdomen. We're then going to move to the chest, the ribs, wherever's accessible for you, and then we're going to move to the upper chest. Okay, so placing your hands onto your upper abdomen, the index finger can rest on the rib, the bottom rib, and you can close your eyes if you like. We're just finding an awareness of the breath at this point. So breathing into that space underneath your hands. What's going on under your hands? So don't try and change the breath. Don't try and gear it a certain way. Just observe what's happening in the upper abdomen. So maybe we can feel the diaphragm move down and out as we inhale, and in and up as we exhale. Maybe we just feel the hands. We feel the skin pushing into the hands. It's gaining an awareness of our breath on the upper abdomen. So my top finger's just resting on my bottom rib, and most of my hands are on my upper belly space. Let's move it up. So I'm going to place my hands on my chest, on my side ribs, wherever is most comfortable and accessible for you. So just feeling what's happening now under my hands. You feel my ribs expanding from side to side. The middle of my chest. We're not forcing the breath. We're not trying to expand into this area. We're just creating a connection, a sensitivity of different areas in the body that we breathe into, different spaces in the lungs that we breathe into. Getting into our body. Morning, everyone. The mid-chest, feeling into the mid-chest. I'm inhaling in through my nose, and I'm exhaling out of my nose as well, but if you want to exhale out of your mouth, that's fine too. Okay, let's move on to the upper chest, so the clavicle space around the collarbone. I always put one hand on top of the other, but hands next to each other, whatever feels right. We've got to be quite patient with this space. It might help to close your eyes. It's hard to connect to. It's harder to connect to. So just observing the breath under your hands, the way the body moves as you breathe in this space. Not trying to change it, not gearing it in any direction. We're just making a connection with the breath and how it moves into our body. After a few breaths, you might start to feel a little bit of movement in this space, and if you don't worry, we're just making that connection for now. Good morning to everyone. You're just joining. Inhaling in through the nose and exhaling. In the upper chest, around the collarbone. Okay, nice work. Let's place the hands onto the knees, palms down. If you've got one leg in front of the other, maybe you can mix it up and switch the other one. We're just in a comfortable seated position for now. Let's close the eyes. If that's comfortable for you, allow the shoulders to rest softly down away from the ears. Palms rested on the knees. Jaw is soft, connecting with the breath. So let's inhale in through the nose. And exhale back out of the nose, if that's okay. The lips are just softly touching. Observing the breath. Let's just pay attention to the inhale. How does it feel? Still exhaling. We're just specifically observing the inhale. Can you hear it? Can you feel it coming in through the nostrils? Again, we're still not trying to change it at this point. We're just observing the quality of the breath. Let's observe the exhale. We still inhale deeply. We're just observing the exhale. And with this ever so slight observation, maybe you notice that the breath becomes slower. We're more mindful of how it moves into the body. The head is stacked over the spine as we're doing this. We want to have the least tension in our body, especially for a relaxing session. We don't want to have to strain or use our muscles too much. So we're still observing the breath as it comes into the body and out of the body. And now with this observation of both the inhale and the exhale, can we inhale and observe this little loop at the end of the inhale just before we exhale, and then we exhale. And then can we observe that little loop just after the exhale, just before we go into the inhale. A loop, a void, a gap, a space, a calm moment between inhale and exhale. Inhaling. A natural loop, we're not holding on to it, it happens naturally, and we exhale. A natural loop before we inhale. Observing the breath. So let's use this awareness of our breath to come onto our mats this morning. And know that in this place of calm that we can connect to with the breath, we can always come back here. We can always find this connection, this space of calm, connecting with our breath. Inhaling, natural loop, and exhale. In through the nose, out through the nose. Let's do a couple more times. Inhaling. Natural loop, and we exhale. Natural little loop, hold, gap, retention, come back, and then we inhale. So if your eyes are closed with me, maybe we can set an intention, a focus, something to move with today. For me, something I'm working with, I'd like to share for you as an intention, is to let your uniqueness unfold, whatever that means for you today. Embrace your weirdness. Honor each moment. Don't steal any moments from yourself. Sitting with the breath for a few more breaths, a short while longer. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, let's flicker the eyes open if you've had your eyes closed. I'm going to suggest that you bring the soles of your feet together. Your diamond wants to be head and bottom of the knees. Your top and bottom of the diamond doesn't want to be the feet. So shuffle the feet a little closer to you. If this isn't comfortable, you can just come back to a cross-legs position or be seated on a cushion. So we're just going to start with some gentle neck rolls. real gentle. Drop the chin down to the chest and just slowly roll your head. I'm going towards my right. And we're not overextending anything. We're just letting the body start to move a little. And let's not lose this connection to our breath. Inhaling in through the nose. And exhaling out of the nose. I like starting with the neck because you can really feel it straight away. We get into our bodies. Next time you come chin to chest, we'll switch directions. And I'm going to gently move over to the left. Just gently. And I'm hearing those little noises too. Maybe you are. See if you can let the jaw be soft here. My hands are still resting on my knees, just allowing my shoulders to be soft. My lips are softly touching and I'm inhaling in and out of my nose. Next time you come chin to chest, we'll rest. We'll lift the head back up. So we're going to come to the floor. We're going to move into a bridge, Setu Bandhasana we call it. I'm using a little bit of Sanskrit here. So I'm going to come onto my back. I'm going to shuffle my feet nice and close in towards my body. My feet are parallel with each other. They're not opening out. And when I lift up my hips slowly, my feet are going to end up underneath my knees. I don't want my shoulders up by my ears. I want them down away from my body. I'm going to surrender, open my palms to the ceiling. So I've got an external rotation of my shoulders, creating a nice open space in the chest as I lift up. So as I lift up, I'm going to push my feet into the floor, tuck my tailbone, engage in this pelvic area, and lift my hips up. This might be enough for you this morning. You can feel a nice release in that sacral area, or maybe you want to lift a little higher. Maybe you need to adjust your feet and shuffle your shoulders a little bit further down. And again, where's the breath? Make sure you're breathing deeply here. I really like to close my eyes as I move into each pose. Inhaling in through the nose. Exhaling out of the nose. I'm being a bit naughty looking over at the camera here. Try and keep your neck straight so you're looking at the ceiling if possible. Inhaling, so now I can feel this expansion in my ribs from side to side. It goes back to that 3-part breath that we worked with at the beginning of the session. Inhaling deeply. And as I exhale, I push my feet down. And I can get my hips a little higher if I like. So we're not pushing ourselves today. We're not going past or even up to our limit. We're just enjoying a stretch, grounding practice. Inhaling deeply. Exhaling completely. So let's come down on our next exhale. We're going to inhale. I'm feeling my chest lift up towards my chin. And as I exhale, I'm tucking my tailbone and I'm really slowly, mindfully bringing the spine back down onto the mat. Nice and slow. Exhale all the way down. Feels good. Okay, place your left foot onto the floor. Left foot onto the floor. We're going to do cycling pose. Having my left foot on the floor makes it a little more supported. If you want, you can extend that leg straight. We'll stay with either one of those two. Okay, so placing your left foot onto the floor. Take an inhale as your right leg reaches up, and an exhale as you bring the knee in towards the chest. Inhale as we're opening up, right leg extends. Inhale, 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 it reaches up, flexing my foot towards the ceiling. I'm not pointing, I'm flexing. And then as I exhale, I bring my knee into my chest. We'll do this a few times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, 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 reaching up away, inhale. And as I exhale, I'm closing off my body and I'm emptying the body of breath. Let's go one more time. I'm feeling my legs now. Inhale. And exhale. What I'd like you to do now is I'd like you to squeeze your right knee in towards your chest. So if this feels okay for you and you want to take it a little bit further, you can extend your left leg straight onto the floor. So two options, left foot on the floor or left leg extends. From here we're going to maybe open up a little bit. So this right knee can just start to come out to the right side of the body. It might be that you're holding on underneath your thigh. It might be that you're using your shin to bring your knee a little closer, almost towards your armpit. So you can just stop, of course, at any point of any of these positions that we're moving into. If you want to move into a little deeper position, we're going to take hold of the outside of our right foot, coming into a half happy baby. So I'm keeping this left hip grounded, and you could always place that left foot back on the floor if it feels a little bit more supported. Might be nice here to close the eyes and connect with the breath again. Half happy baby. Let's take one more breath here. Shoulders are soft. Bringing that knee back in, placing the right foot onto the floor. Let's switch sides. So we're going to lift up the left leg this time. We're going to take an inhale here. We're cycling. And as we exhale, we squeeze that left knee in towards the chest, just towards. We inhale as we scoop it forward down to the bottom of the mat and up to the ceiling, flexing my foot, creating this engagement and length in the back line of the leg. Exhaling as we squeeze it in. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do a few more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, inhale, inhale. And as we start to bring it in towards the body, we can exhale, exhale, exhale. One more. Inhaling and exhaling. This time we're going to hug the left knee in towards the body. A soft breath coming in and out of the nose. And then we're going to open it up to the side a bit. So we're opening up, bringing that left knee outside of the body slightly and in towards the armpit. So you can either keep it here or be hugging the back of the thigh. If it felt nice for you on the other side, we can come into half happy baby. So we're holding on to the outside of this left foot. Maybe this was enough here, or if you want, you could extend this right leg towards the other end of the mat. Might feel nice to place this right hand onto the right hip and close the eyes and reconnect with that breath as it comes in and out of the body. Inhaling and exhaling. So that softness as we melt into the position a little bit on the exhale. Two more breaths here. The sole of my foot is pointing towards the ceiling in this half happy baby. We'll release that left foot and bring the knee back into the center, place it onto the floor, and then we're just going to roll over onto a side that feels good for you. Use the hands to lift yourself back up, and we will come back to our seated positions. Okay. Reaching your right leg forward and bring the sole of your left foot into the thigh. So this left hip's going to open a bit, but just keep it as forward as you can. Frame the front right leg. Take an inhale to find length, and exhale as we take a forward fold. Conscious of the time all of a sudden. Where does time go? Shoulders move down away from the ears, extending the collarbone forward here. So it might just be that your hands are just on the floor and you're pivoting at the hips a little bit. Maybe you could draw the belly button into the base of the spine. Inhale, find length. Exhale, a little forward fold. My right foot is flexed. So again, I'm finding that length down the back of the right leg. Inhaling and exhaling. Use the hands to lift yourself back up. We're going to switch legs. So bring the left leg forward, bring your right foot in towards your left thigh. Torso faces forward over that front leg. Frame the front foot. Use the fingertips if that feels good. Inhale, find length. And exhale, pivot at the hips a little bit. Maybe go a little bit deeper, using that breath. So inhale and exhale. My left foot is flexed now. Sending my gaze down towards the floor. Creating a softness with the connection to the breath. Couple more breaths here. And again, let's use the hands to lift the body back up to seated. Soles of the feet can come together again. Soles of your feet together. On the sit bones. I'd like you to catch your elbows behind you. Catch your elbows behind you. Might be that you're holding on to your wrists or fingers or elbows. Once you've got hold of your elbows, we're going to find that breath again. Shoulders roll back, deep inhale. Real nice open space in the upper chest. And again, inhale. Let's drop the chin to the chest. Again, inhale. Release the elbows. Place your right hand onto the floor, just slightly away from your right hip. Move this right shoulder down away from your ear. Down away from your ear. Let the right ear rest towards your right shoulder. See how nice this feels on the left side of the neck? Maybe you can even relax your jaw here. Back to that breath. My right elbow is ever so slightly bent. I'm pushing the ground away from me, but I'm also extending up through my spine. I'm trying to keep everything in this line. I'm not forward folding at all. Just letting the right ear softly drop towards the right shoulder. Again, closing your eyes always feels nice. Maybe for you. To come out of this, we're going to come out slowly. We're going to use the right hand under the right ear to lift it, back up, all the way back up, and then let's switch sides. So place the left hand just outside the left hip, probably about half a foot away. Span the finger nice and wide, fingers, push the ground away. Little bend in the left elbow, and then let your left ear drop towards your left shoulder. I'm wrapping my shoulder and my shoulder blade down and around my back ever so slightly, and any pinching at all, you just want to back off and find more length in the position. So softening into the neck, letting the left ear drop towards the left shoulder. We'll take a few breaths here. And work with what feels nice for you. Sometimes here I drop my head, my chin down towards my chest a bit, and it gets into the upper back more for me, the back of the neck. Couple more breaths. Let's come out of it supported again. So left hand under left ear and lift yourself back up. Head comes back over spine. We'll come onto all fours. Come onto your hands and your knees. Majari, or cat stretch pose, commonly known as cat-cow. We're going to spread the fingers really wide, nice and wide. Make that connection, so push the pads of the fingertips into the mat. We feel the shoulders engage a little more. Knees underneath the hips. Body is parallel at the minute. And just softly, we're not going to overextend here. As we inhale, let's count to 5 and open up. For 5, inhaling, 4, 3, 2, and 1. The chest opens towards the ceiling. We inhale, we complete the inhale to the end of the pose, and then as we exhale, we start to tuck the tailbone and arch the back towards the ceiling. Not overextending here too much, especially if you've got any back issues like bulging discs or anything. Just being gentle. End of the exhale, we come to tucking the chin towards the chest. Tuck tailbone, chin towards chest. We'll do another 2. Inhale to open. And exhale to close. Waking up the spine. Inhaling, last one. And exhale. Nice, we'll come to a neutral spine. I'm going to open I'm getting all tangled up in my necklace. I'm going to open my feet. I'm going to bring my hands a little wider. So my fingers are still spanned wide, and my hands are slightly wider than shoulder distance. We're going to come to down facing dog slowly. I'm going to tuck my toes. I'm going to carefully lift my knees up, and I'm going to push the ground away. So I'm going this way. So as I lift my knees up, I'm going to start to straighten my legs, moving my shoulders away from my wrists. And then my gaze, which was at the floor, is going to look towards the back of the mat. So it might be that your knees stay bent at this point, or maybe you've come up to straight-legged. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. Really root the hands. Notice what happened there on my back. So from here to here, found a lot of space around my shoulders and in my back with that little push. Inhaling deeply, exhaling completely. One more like that. Inhale, and then either hands are going to walk to feet or feet are going to walk to hands, and we're going to find ourselves in a forward fold with bent legs, nice and soft. I shuffled my feet a little closer there, so my feet are under the hips. I'm going to let my head go, I'm going to let my neck go. I'm just flopping here in a forward fold. So when we come up from a forward fold in a minute, it's going to be really important to ground down. So push the feet into the mat. Start by tucking the tailbone. Feel this connection with this part of the body. We're going to inhale, root the feet, tucking the tailbone. My knees are still bent. Inhaling, inhaling, inhaling all the way up to standing. And as I exhale, I bring my hands to my heart. We call this Anjali Mudra. Hand position mudra. The base of the thumb is at the heart center. My hands, fingers draw together. They meet at the heart. Let's come back to the floor. We just moved up. Now we're going to come back to the floor. And we're going to do a nice, relaxing, happy baby pose. The hips are a little bit open. We've worked through most areas of the body. So making your way onto your back, if you'd like to join me in a happy baby position. Happy baby. So maybe at this point you just want to work with bringing your knees towards your chest. Maybe you're holding on to the back of the thighs here. If that feels nice and you want to go a little bit further, you could separate the knees and bring them in like we did on both sides before towards the armpits. So maybe you're holding onto the backs of the thighs, maybe you're hugging the shins in. If you want to take it a little bit further, we could bring the soles of the feet towards the ceiling. If you want to take it a little bit further, if the insides of the feet is more accessible, take hold of the insides, that's fine. If you can, take hold of the outside of the feet. Close your eyes here, and again, let's just connect with the breath. Inhaling in through the nose, and exhaling back out of the nose. Inhaling in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhaling back out of the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. This is equal breathing. Equal breathing. Inhaling in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Your eyes may be closed. Exhaling back out of the nose for 4, 3, 2, and 1. You can stay like this, inhaling in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. There's that natural loop, calm space in the breath. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly bringing your feet back down towards the floor. You could place the feet onto the floor, or you could rest the legs straight on the mat. The feet are slightly wider than the hips, the toes flop apart. Shoulders can come a little bit further under the body. Maybe you want to rest your hands on your body somewhere. Might be nice for you just to remain here. If you like, for a short while longer, as long as you need, connecting to that breath. Inhaling and exhaling. Stay here as long as you like. It's my time up for this morning. Thank you so much for joining me for a Grounding Floor series. It's been lovely. Thank you so much to Active Newcastle and also to this girl Can. They've got absolutely loads on today, and so I'm going to dip into some of that on their Facebook pages. Thank you, everyone. I hope you've had a nice morning, and I hope you have a wonderful International Women's Day. So I've been Rosie at Shanti B, and we're over in Biker, and obviously we've got a website. It's on our Facebook page if you want to have a look at all the wonderful classes that we do. Thank you again. Have an awesome day. Bye.